Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Healthy Dog Workshop podcast. I am so excited today to see already people are jumping on. This is fantastic. I am here with the ladies of CocoTherapy, Carissa and Carmina. They are part of a family of third generation coconut farmers. And the two people that I know who know more about the science of coconut than anybody on the planet. Welcome, ladies. I was so blown away the last time we talked, and you were reeling off science stuff that I just had never considered, and it just flowed off your tongue. I was so impressed.
Aw, thank you for having us. We love being here.
And you have a guest too.
Oh yeah, we got Fiona right here. I have my dog on my lap. She's buried somewhere.
I saw she was up when we were chatting off camera.
Yeah.
What are you doing over there?
Well, we're enjoying the nice weather.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful here. The sun is finally out. I feel like we kind of had winter here in upstate New York, but not really.
Really, yep.
And now it's like it's spring.
It is. I mean, the shoots are growing out of the ground. We're in Chicago, so yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think I mentioned I was talking with Dr. Royal yesterday, and I didn't realize her practice is really right in downtown Chicago.
Yes, it is.
It is. It is.
I've wanted to go there, but we haven't had a chance. We're like 50 minutes away from Chicago, so
and the traffic sucks.
Traffic, yeah, you have to pick your times.
Exactly.
But she is such an amazing woman. I really do enjoy her.
She really is.
Yep. So let's dive right in. I understand you have exciting news to share, at least preliminary news.
Yeah. Well, we were actually going to introduce a brand new product on this event, and we were so excited to do it. You know us, we hardly come out with new products, okay? We are
I think oh, there she is. The last new product was the organ bites, right?
Yeah. Yes. Some treats. Yeah, that was almost a year ago.
Yeah.
So
as life has it, some interesting developments happen.
Yeah.
I think it's a big lesson to all of us when we're developing products, especially for organic certifiers like us. So you want to tell them a quick story?
Yeah, well, quick story. So, we're not able to do it, unfortunately.
Not yet.
It's been delayed. So, you know our qualifications for ingredients. I mean, when we source products, we have to know where they come from. We typically don't like to use or source ingredients from China. Because based on our experience doing this for many years, China has higher microbial counts than other suppliers, from other suppliers, including Indian-based suppliers.
Oh, really?
Yes. And that's, some people don't know that. And because we're organic certified, it's so important for us to make sure that the ingredients we use are USDA organic certified. And unfortunately, when you source products and you talk to different companies, they may say their ingredients are organic, but it's questionable when you get all the documentation whether it is or not. And it's very hard to vet products ingredients from China whether they're USDA organic certified or not. So that's the reason why we choose to just make it simpler for us not to use ingredients from China. Now, this product that we're going to reveal, and we've been working on this for over a year and a half, has turmeric in it.
Oh.
So it's a product with turmeric. Now, yes. Now, and we've been developing this for over a year and a half. We've been so excited to do this. But what happened was, we got all the requirements that we needed. We vetted the manufacturing company, the supply company.
We looked at the COAs for everything, like we always do.
And if it doesn't have country of origin, we asked for the COO, which is a country of origin statement. And when we started working with them, everything was green and go. We vetted the suppliers. The turmeric came from India, which is probably the best turmeric.
Okay.
Organic. We got the product samples. Everything was good to go. So just to make a long story short, we produced a whole lot. We were about to release this 2 weeks ago, like a lot.
I know.
Yes, like 5,000 units, over 5,000 units. Well, when we asked for the certificate
The
of
final
analysis.
statement for the product, we looked at it. It looked nothing like our product, the sample,
Nothing like
and
it.
the COA was different.
Yes. So when we got the
Yeah.
sample, it wasn't what we had
Approved.
Mhm.
The COA, the
Both two ingredients were from China,
were from China,
including the turmeric, which is a
Yes.
big no-no.
which is
And what people don't know, there's only a handful of NOP certifiers that do certify in China. However, when you do that, you have to get a second certification from another organization from China.
Mhm.
You almost need two documentation, and that second one
It's
is
very
very
hard
hard
to
to
get.
get.
Yeah.
So unless you get it, there's all bets are off.
yeah.
So unfortunately for us, we were like, we cannot release this. We cannot accept
No.
it. It
No.
was very difficult because this is a very good lab and very recommended that we worked with, and they're investigating to see what happened.
Yeah.
It's basically a lesson for us in terms of so many companies, they might cut corners. We don't know what the reason was, what was available at the time of production, but it was a lesson for us because somebody had mentioned, well, why don't you just release this batch and sell it? This is a lot of product, and then just change it next time. And we said, and good, no, and
No.
in conscience, we could not sleep at night.
Because that's what we always say. We want to say where our ingredients come from.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
No,
really important.
it's not up to your standards, and
No.
It isn't.
it will only come back and bite you in the butt. if you-
Exactly. And the problem is, because we're a certified organic company, there are no shortcuts. When something goes wrong in product development,
Yep.
we have to start over. We had no choice. I mean, the only companies that will do this, throw everything out
And
in
start
the
again.
trash and start again.
Mhm.
A USDA certified organic company, only because we can't certify it organic if we're
No,
not
not
100% sure if the turmeric
Oh, that's
is organic.
Yeah.
So 5,000 units goes into the
Oh,
bomb.
it breaks my heart.
It-
I mean, we were literally ready to sell. We have marketing material. Everything was
I
ready to go
mean,
until we got it. And I'm like, wait.
It's enough to make you lose sleep. And now, just so that people know, whenever we source ingredients or work with a co-manufacturer, aside from the certificate of analysis or the country of origin statement, we make sure that they can provide us with an FTIR analysis, which is an infrared analysis, which basically tells you, it identifies contamination or any additives in any of the ingredients you use. It can also identify oxidation and decomposition in products. We go through that extra step. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just, oh, here's a certificate of analysis, because the certificate of analysis doesn't tell you everything. It doesn't tell you contamination or additives.
Right.
And there's another analysis called HPLC analysis that we liked, that the companies, we requested from them. And this can identify pesticides, preservatives, artificial flavorings, colorings in the food and ingredients.
Metals, probably.
Exactly, heavy metals, and this ensures product purity. So aside from the COA, those two, the FTIR and the HPLC analysis is critical for us.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we are so anal when it comes to choosing the ingredients.
Mhm.
And
I think the company was very surprised that we wanted to literally just get rid of all that. It was like, you destroy it. And they were like, maybe we could sell it on Amazon or whatever. I'm like, we could never
come up with a
never.
statement,
And good
marketing.
Yeah, and then
statement.
they did a lab analysis, microbiological, where you can see the salmonella pesticides, and it was within
Everything's
range.
within range.
It was fine.
It's
I mean, it's human
acceptable.
grade even.
Yes.
But I'm like, but no.
But no, because the next time a customer, if you were to sell that, and then a customer buys the next bag, then the next question is, why is it different?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's obvious.
It looks different.
Yeah,
It-
but
it
I
does.
couldn't.
Well,
I wouldn't give it to my dog. Why would I sell it to someone else?
Exactly.
That's
But
another
the
thing.
bottom line is, too, because we are organic certified, we have the standard that if we weren't organic certified, we might be able to say, okay, well, maybe we can sell it this time. It's not certified organic, and even if it's from
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why my phone
that's
keeps.
fine. That's fine.
Imagine this. My phone is just lighting up.
But that's our basic nightmare now. So
I feel for you.
Yeah, we have chosen to dispose of the entire lot, 5,000 jars, and start over, which is extremely painful. I
It
mean,
is painful.
yeah,
But I respect you for doing that because it's the right thing to do and
yeah,
not taking the shortcut, And this is why people like you. And here, Janet, let me get Janet's comment up.
your battery's slow.
You know, it's so hard for people to find clean products. When you find a company that stays true and, puts it on the line that we only produce quality, that's
Right.
what you're buying stuff for. I mean, they can probably find cheaper coconut oil anywhere.
Right.
Your coconut oil is different from everybody's.
Thank you.
I mean, from, its appearance, its smell, everything. And, don't even get me started on the pumpkin treats. My dogs, my carnivore dogs, are nuts about that. They like those better than they like the organ bites.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
A lot. Yep.
Yeah.
Hide.
That says a lot.
It says a lot. And
plug.
um
I'm gonna get.
ne-
Keep talking. I'm gonna get a plug. I'm getting low battery on her laptop, so just keep talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
keep
I'm gonna plug the
we'll
laptop.
plug in.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but my oldest dog has a level of kidney disease where I am limiting his protein intake.
Yep.
And treats, the core treats that I normally use are meat-based treats.
Right.
So having something that A, he loves,
Right.
and B, does not put a lot of protein in is a huge advantage. And I have 3 others, so they can have anything.
Aw.
They still like that.
Yeah.
But there was something about the pumpkin.
Oh wow. Yeah, that dogs just love our pumpkin treats. That's just it seems to be like one of our
beets.
but yeah, and the beets. Yeah, the beets and the we do have a treat that has organic turmeric in it too.
Mhm.
So and that's definitely from India, and that's definitely certified organic, and it passed all the analysis that we normally, go through to verify the purity of the ingredients. Which I know sounds super anal, but that's just how we are. That's just I mean, not that we're untrusting of sources, but it's trust but verify, honestly.
Yeah. And if I know a company is willing to go to that level and prove it, I'm gonna give them more slack, even the times that they don't share that data, because their track record is so clean. And what do we complain about in the pet food industry but the track record of companies who've had recall after recall, and we just know not to trust them.
Right. I agree. And being in the manufacturing world, it is very common to have ingredients that go out of stock or they're not available. And a lot of people make substitutions, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And if you're not USDA certified organic, you can probably get away with it and say, okay, this time let's not use a certified organic ingredient, but next time we will. That happens.
I'm sure there's companies out
all
there
the time. That happens all the time. I can't tell you how much that happens all the time, but because we're certified organic, we can't do that. We can't just be swapping ingredients left and right. We have to stick to a certain level of quality.
There's very few certified organic products, I think, in the pet industry where you actually see that green seal. I think I saw Melissa on earlier. Her shampoos, all her products are certified organic. So she goes through what she goes through in terms of sourcing and making sure all her ingredients are organic. She can't cut corners.
Expensive.
It's more expensive, but you literally get what you pay for.
Well, and I guess it's also, where are your priorities? I was talking about this with a client just yesterday, and we were talking about food, and they were paying for a prescription food, and those are ridiculously expensive per pound. And when you look at fresh food, even certainly even not organic, I mean, it's so much less than what is put in the bag of prescription kibble.
Right.
And it's about what you pay for
Yeah.
and getting value for that dollar and saving money at the vets or, wherever, depending on the product.
Really, it is.
We'll
But
see.
anyway, so that's our saga for now. It's when we're ready to release it, we'll call you, Dr. Kojer.
Oh, yeah, we'll do a part 2 of this. So that you can, I want you to hold it up.
Yes.
Time with me. That will be fun.
Yeah, it's a huge disappointment, but
how long do you think it might take?
We're still in talks of trying to they're investigating to see what happened. Like I said, it's a very reputable lab. Yeah.
So months and months.
Yes. Several months. Yeah.
Everything takes longer than you think.
I mean, this whole thing took us over a year and a half to develop, just for R&D, to do it right, to get the formulation right, the efficacy of the turmeric right. We went through all that and everything was good to go. It took us that long. And then it was just a snafu with the ingredient sourcing of the turmeric. 2 ingredients. Just that one simple change. And now we have pallets of it. I don't know how we're going to get rid of that, but I feel bad. I've never liked wasting things, but now I feel like, well, how do we get? I mean, we just have to.
And is it in glass jars?
Yeah, they are
naturally.
Yes, of course.
Glass is the best way to store things, but
yeah.
Oh, geez.
Especially with anything that contains oil, coconut oil, which it does. So, I don't know. This is extremely painful for us. I mean, and everything happens for a reason. Yeah, I mean, we had drums of coconut oil that we used. Yeah, we used our oil for this product that is now like.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone. It's all gone. So, anyway, I think
Janet has asked for some elaboration on that. Why you choose to use glass instead of plastic, and help people understand why they should avoid plastic.
Well, the simple thing is plastic is a little bit porous, and oil leaches. It actually absorbs some things. Plastic breaks down. Plastic breaks down. It'll get absorbed in the oil, and you're not exactly sure what's in that plastic if you're not sure.
Right.
So it'll get into the oil. Yeah. So that's the main reason why we use glass. Yeah.
And the other thing I love about glass is you can wash it out and reuse it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We use it all the time. We do have a large refill pouch.
You have a refill pouch kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's food grade aluminum like foil in there.
Yeah.
Not plastic. It's not a plastic pouch. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Whoops. Sorry. One more click. So, we also talked off camera a bit about a lot of the misconceptions and myths about coconut oil.
Yeah.
And the one that blew me out of the water was that it increases inflammation. Can you explain?
Yeah. Well, it's very funny because you see a lot of articles and studies that say coconut oil is anti-inflammatory.
Right.
So if they say that, how in the world can it increase inflammation? Yeah. I think one of the reasons why is we know that coconut oil is antibacterial, antiviral, and antimicrobial. So it kills bacteria. Now, especially gram-negative bacteria. And the gram-negative bacteria, there's endotoxins that are encased around these gram-negative bacteria. So when it kills it, there's fragments of those dead bacteria that is released in the blood. So your body detects that and will create a low-level immune response. That is basically how our bodies, puppies, babies, bodies are trained. Our immune systems are trained. It just elicits a low immune response to kill that dead endotoxin and get rid of it
out of your body.
So when they see that, they say, it causes inflammation. But if you think about it, mother's milk has high levels of medium chain fats, specifically lauric acid. So why would nature put lauric acid into mother's milk if it's going to kill us and cause inflammation? So that's the one thing that people don't understand. It's a low grade inflammation designed to get rid of the dead
And I really don't like to say low grade inflammation, although it is, but it's a immune response, which is what an immune response is,
or immune system activation.
Exactly.
Yes,
that would be
better.
a better word. That would be a better word.
Yeah.
And I think people maybe get to this because they don't understand the difference between omega-3 fatty acids and medium chain fatty acids or triglycerides.
Right.
And they know omega-3s are anti-inflammatory. So, how can anything else be? And it's just that couple bits, those couple little facts that they need.
Right. So,
Angela, I love it. Never forget that just because we're talking about CocoTherapy for our dogs, that you can cook with it. It is food.
Oh yeah.
And coconut oil is definitely, when you're cooking with it, it's a better nonstick than any other oil. Hands down.
Yeah. And it has a high smoke point. It doesn't oxidize very easily in heat. So it prevents like oxidation. So it's a really good, safe oil to cook with. And I also bake with our oil. So
yeah.
Tasty.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, this is a good time. The research database on the beneficial uses of coconut oil. Is this on the same page as the ebook we were talking about earlier?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I'm glad Melissa mentioned that.
Yeah. If you go to our website under Learn More, in a drop down, there's our scientific studies research. And that's another myth that we hear, that there are no studies done on coconut oil.
Yeah.
They always say that. And then yet magically negative studies about coconut oil will appear. But they're negative studies, whatever. Yeah. So we created this ebook. It's sort of a compendium of all the research studies that we reached out, and we organized it by health conditions. So there's like cancer, GI,
heart
health, bone, brain, everything, seizures. So you can see it categorized by different
there
health.
you go. Look at my awesome team. Thanks, Diane.
Yay! Yeah, and so it's a download. You have to
you have to download the PDF.
You have to download it because it's a pretty hefty book. It's probably almost 90 pages.
Oh wow!
Yeah, of studies
of science.
Plus, really? Yeah. You haven't. Yeah, I think that's where we're up to now.
I know there's over 100 studies listed.
So you're continuously updating it.
Yes. Yeah. So then, if you do download it, we'll have your email at that little, and then we can send you updates as we update it when we find more studies.
Beautiful.
So it's just a ton of studies.
And there's also studies on inflammation and gut health. So if anybody's very concerned about leaky gut, coconut oil causing that, they can literally look studies up to see where it helps.
Yeah.
This coconut oil does soothe the mucosal lining of the intestines. I've given coconut oil to dogs with
leaky gut,
and it totally helps them. Yeah.
Well, and pancreatitis dogs that need fat.
Oh yeah.
This is a safer fat for them.
Right. Definitely.
Oh, geez. This is touchy today. Touchy. And, as a fat, it's absorbed a little bit differently, and it doesn't tend to contribute to weight gain and act like other fats in the body.
That's true.
That's right. Yeah. One of the myths that I saw pretty recently floating around from a source, a well-known source. They said that
not name.
They said it because it's a saturated fat, it takes longer to break down, so there's greater potential for weight gain. That was literally what it said. Well, the thing is, as we all know, it's a different type of saturated fat. Yes, coconut oil is mostly saturated fat.
Meaning that there's a hydrogen atom.
Exactly.
Exactly. Saturated with hydrogen.
Meaning
atoms.
it's more stable.
Yeah.
So, which is why it's not prone to oxidation.
Right.
So but the thing about it, it's medium chain fat. It does not need chylomicrons for transportation. It goes straight to the portal vein, and it's broken down in the liver as energy or ketones. So it's metabolized very differently. So when they say it takes longer to break down, that's completely false, because
Why else do we take MCT oil to go to
Right.
the gym? We get instant energy that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it really isn't breaking down, it's just being absorbed.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas if you had pork fat, for example,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
that's got to be broken down
Yes.
in the
Exactly.
GI tract and processed
Right.
a lot more.
Yes.
Right.
We know in this competitive world that we live in that sometimes the only way a competitor can promote their own product is to shoot down the competition. And
It's sad.
in, in pet food, in cars, in
Exactly. Yep.
and
That's
I
true.
just want to provide education so that people can decide for themselves.
Right.
And I'm definitely downloading this book. I mean, 90 pages of, if I need a reference,
Studies.
I
Yep.
can click there. That's an amazing resource. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're
Of
welcome. It's
course.
amazing. The studies will blow your mind, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said the last time we talked that your family, third generation coconut farm, and your coconuts grow on lava-based soil, right?
Yeah. Volcanic.
Yes.
It's more of a volcanic
Because our
region.
farm is in a volcanic region, not a beach.
Not a sandy soil.
Not a
I
sandy
wish it was on
beach.
the beach, but no, it's not.
It's not. We're in the volcanic areas, so
Yeah.
it makes a difference. I mean, when you have apples planted in Washington, I think they're crispy apples, or in Washington
what it
State,
was
they're,
time.
are different from apples grown in a different state. You can
Yeah.
tell the difference.
Well, New York is a big apple state.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
And, there are some specific New York apples, but typically it's a lot of Cortlands and McIntoshes, and they're smaller.
yeah,
And they're not super crisp and hard like Washington State.
right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Not as big.
Right. That same goes for coconuts.
There's a region in the Philippines that's pretty mountainous. That's known
And
for
volcanic.
where the majority of the really good coconut trees are grown. They're
Mhm.
known as a coconut island, basically. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where the farm is.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, after that digression, you mentioned that growing up, I think you said your grandmother used coconut as medicine for everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She did.
If we had lice, for example, which running around, kids running around and out
Sure.
in the bush, we get lice. So she would just slather she never used that toxic. I don't know what people use to
Lice
kill
killer.
lice anyway.
I don't know. If somebody knows, put it in the
Or
comments.
fleas. I mean,
Yeah, she would
fleas
just
in our
slather our
animals.
scalp and hair with coconut oil and would run around with coconut oil hair for the longest time. And then all those lice were dead.
Or if you had cuts or scrapes or wounds or sores
Anything,
or
you gotta-
even acne when we were
Oh, yeah.
teenagers. Yeah, even acne, because it really helps clear. I mean, it's oily, but it seems counterintuitive to
No,
put
but
oil on your face.
it absorbs in the acid mantle of your skin,
Ye-
and you don't stay oily.
It doesn't. Yes, and
Yeah.
it does. It is being antibacterial. It helps with that.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
used it a lot for that, and it taken internally. If we had
Sore throat.
sore throats, we gargled with it. If we had, digestive issues, we put it everywhere.
But it's not just us; it was our animals that we had.
Yeah.
Because when we were growing up, we didn't really take our animals to the vet.
as much.
They were like,
Yeah.
"It's sick. Give it coconut oil," and it was fine.
That's what they did.
If they got a boo boo or they got fleas or whatever, we slathered the dog in coconut oil, and it was great. So, so
Yeah.
definitely grew up with that. It was our culture, and that's what we grew up with, and we saw it work. And nobody had leaky gut or anything, so I think we were all fine. Or we weren't.
Or obese or heart conditions or arteriosclerosis or So
yeah.
Yeah. And you kind of alluded to MCT before. So you have an MCT oil product as well as virgin coconut. Before we dive into that, can you explain what virgin coconut is as opposed to non-virgin?
yes. Well, virgin basically means unrefined. That's
Okay.
really all it means, unrefined, especially at least in the coconut oil world. So when it's virgin, that means it hasn't been refined with heat, hexane, solvents. It's not RBD oil, which is refined, bleached, and deodorized, which is how a lot of the oils are. So that's what virgin coconut oil means. And incidentally, there's no such thing as extra virgin coconut oil.
Like there is olive oil.
Like there is olive oil. Yeah. In olive oil world, the term virgin, extra virgin means it's
First press.
because you can press olives multiple times. So if it's the first press of olives, that's extra virgin. And then virgin olive oil, you can press the olives more than once. But in coconut world, there's no such thing as pressing coconut multiple times. It's once and you're done. So that term extra virgin, it's a marketing ploy. If you see extra virgin on a coconut oil jar, it means absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing.
And I guess with olive oil, it goes all the way down to olive pomace oil, which I think that's probably like the very last pressing.
Probably,
yeah. I think you're right. And then, and what people don't know, there's various degrees of whether coconut oil it's not 100% virgin if they put extra virgin, because they can also mix it with RBD oil, refined oil. So you get the whole variations of oil that's semi-refined, semi, RBD mixed with virgin coconut oil, and you can still call it virgin coconut oil.
Oh my gosh.
So sourcing is so critical. So you can get, virgin coconut oil, and that's partially refined. So that's a sad thing. It's not a term regulated by any, oil industry.
So there's no law that says you shall not do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So how would you contrast the uses of MCT oil with just regular coconut oil? Why, as Janet asked, why would somebody choose to use MCT?
Well, the component of each of the medium chain fatty acids are different. So in coconut oil, the highest amount is lauric acid or virgin coconut oil. So there's lauric acid, which is the highest amount, about 45 to 53%. And then there's capric and caprylic acid, which goes lower, like 7 and 10%, right? So for the lauric acid, it actually is metabolized in the liver a little bit longer because it's 12 carbon atoms, whereas capric and caprylic are 8 and 10. So it increases your blood ketone levels a little bit slower, but it stays elevated longer. MCT oil is the reverse. It's higher in capric and caprylic acid and much, much lower in lauric acid. So if you need that very quick absorption, quick energy boost, you would take the MCT oil. And it's also
maybe like the bodybuilders and athletes.
Yes,
exactly.
And it's also very good. Like it crosses blood-brain barrier very quickly. So it's good for seizures.
Yes.
So that's why people will give MCT oil. We have so many good
for cognitive health
stories that we hear about our MCT oil and seizures. It's wonderful.
I mean, the benefits do overlap, but because one has more lauric acid, the other one has more caprylic and capric acid, they are, for specific uses, you would use one over the other. Like, for example, the MCT oil, you would use more for yeast infections or a yeasty dog because caprylic and capric acid kills yeast. Whereas, the lauric acid kills bacteria. Now, if you also had a dog with pancreatitis or severe lipid disorders where they just cannot digest fat or extremely sensitive to lipids and fats, then you would use the MCT oil as opposed to the virgin coconut oil. So it really depends, but we do have a lot of customers, and I do this myself. I actually use both. I like to alternate it. So I use the
MCT in the morning
and the virgin coconut oil at night.
Okay.
That's how I would alternate them.
Yeah. And I've heard of people putting MCT oil in their coffee.
I do that. I
or
do
iced
that.
tea.
Yeah. I do that on my tea. Yep. Definitely.
Yeah. And certainly people who are doing ketogenic diet for their seizuring dog and stuff.
Yeah.
MCT oil is the natural fat to use.
Exactly. Or dogs that have cancer that need to be on a higher fat diet because they do want to cut out carbs completely, but you
need
still
the
need
energy, cellular energy.
Then they would have to add the fat, because if you take out the carbs, you got to add something.
Exactly.
Right.
Fascinating. Let's see what else we've had. Janet is a fan.
We love Janet.
Yeah.
You know what? I do have to mention, because I see this all the time on social media or, just all over the internet, that lauric acid is
Bad for you.
bad for you, and it's a long chain fat.
Mhm.
That is what we
I
hear.
remember that debate in CocoGate.
Yes,
That drives me
exactly. Drives me
crazy.
until now. I
That's
still see
crazy.
people thinking,
Till now.
or
Recently,
I
I
still
saw it.
see that new that lie. I'll just call it a lie because it's a lie. Lauric acid is a medium chain fat. It is not a long chain fat.
Yeah.
I mean, there are 3 chemistry databases that are very popular: PubChem, ChemSpider, and American Oil Chemist Society. Those 3, if you look it up, look up lauric acid, it states that it is a medium chain fat,
and it's classified as
a medium chain fat, and it is digested in the same way that caprylic and capric acid is digested. Period. End of topic. So for anybody that says it's a lauric, it's a long chain fat and it's metabolized as a long chain fat, it is just not true. Not true.
I think what they see is, so coconut oil we know is a blend of fats, right? It's actually 63% medium chain fat and it's 37% long chain fat. So people don't know that there's actually some oleic acid. There's omega-9s in there, 6%. There's trace omega-6, just 2%.
Palmitic acid,
and
9%.
there's hardly any omega-3. So, it leads me to say, if people say, I need to give omega-3, can I substitute? Don't substitute. You need the omega-3.
You need both.
Yeah, you'll need
and omega-3s come from animal tissue, not plant.
Yes, exactly. So there is some long chain fat in coconut oil. And when you take it, or body takes it, there will be some chylomicron activity for those long chain fatty acids.
But it's not from lauric acid.
Not from lauric acid. So if you say if there's some delay, it's absorbed slower, whatever the case may be, it's because it's a mix of oils. All oils are mixed with, different fatty acids.
Well, now, what is a typical animal fat percentage of long chain?
It's all long chain.
Animal fat is saturated fat, and it's all long chain. All of
completely. It's about 14 carbon atoms and higher, usually 22 carbon atoms.
Yep. And those are the saturated fats that people have to be careful with. People, but not animals.
Right. Yeah.
Not animals, because animals can eat so much fat. As long as it's raw. We don't like cook fats. If the fat is raw, animals can consume way more fat than humans can, because they have a higher HDL level cholesterol in their blood than LDL. Just naturally,
much higher.
Cats and dogs can. So they don't have a risk of having high cholesterol or high blood pressure. And you can't humanize animals the way you do with dogs when it comes to fats. So that's another misconception.
Yeah, you brought forward the most important thing with fats with animals, especially overcooked fats.
Oh, yeah.
Those are really bad, and overcooked protein.
Really bad.
And what is kibble but ultra processed? And part of that is several cooking steps. So it's no wonder we have dogs with pancreatitis, and no wonder why raw feeders are not afraid of it, because we're feeding our fats raw, even if they're animal origin fat.
Exactly.
Animals thrive on raw saturated fats. That's what they eat, the raw meat. They thrive on it.
Yeah. And there will be individuals who do better or prefer a lightly cooked product, but there's the secret: lightly. Don't cook your proteins and your fats to death. They don't.
There is nothing more toxic than oxidized fat. I can't stress that enough.
So it causes oxidative stress on the body, and I think for a lot of animals,
and inflammation.
Much inflammation.
With the introduction of polyunsaturated fats in pet food and all that, I think that's where all the problems started for animals.
I think you may be right.
I think so. Especially when people are trying to feed their animals low carb, but they increase the fat of the polyunsaturated fats. That can cause pancreatitis. It's just, or for animals that are fed low fat diets because they have pancreatitis, they increase the carbs, which can also
not without harm.
Exactly.
And my thinking on carbs in fresh food diets is evolving based on some cases I've worked on,
Mhm.
and I'm feeding more carbs than I previously would have.
Mhm.
But I'm very selective about what they are,
Right.
what they offer,
Right.
and the individual dog.
Mhm.
Because some dogs need more carbs than others,
Oh,
or
that's true.
I
You're
shouldn't
right.
say need, they do better.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Right.
And I think that's a genetic thing. Just like we know, like our Arctic breed dogs have a higher zinc requirement,
Mhm.
Huskies, Malamutes, etc.
Yep. Yep.
That's where their gene pool evolved and what they evolved eating and needing.
Right.
So, there's individuals, but gosh, guys, don't cook the fats.
Yeah, that there's nothing more toxic than that. And which is why I'm so careful, even with fish oil or other oils. I'm not going to go out and buy a big giant thing of, fish
Right.
oil because it will, I guarantee, oxidize.
The minute you
The
open
minute you
bottle,
open that bottle, it's
already.
starting to oxidize. And there's nothing more toxic than giving that to your animals. You might as well.
And that's the beauty of coconut oil, and not interchangeable with omega-3s.
Mhm.
It is a shelf-stable oil.
Yes.
You can keep it in your pantry at reasonable temperatures. If you're keeping fish oil in your house, it belongs in the refrigerator.
Right. That's right.
And my rule of thumb, I'll see if you agree with me, is no more than 30 days supply.
I 100% agree with you. Yeah. Even olive oil can oxidize. I mean, it is a monounsaturated fat. Unsaturated meaning no hydrogen carbons, which will oxidize because that's what makes it stable. Olive oil is extremely healthy for you, but I wouldn't use it past
get
30
a dark
days.
bottle, dark green bottle.
Yeah, keep it in the dark.
Exactly.
Don't get the giant economy size.
No.
And I've been guilty of that. Oh, look, the 1 gallon size in the metal thing is on sale. And by the end of it, it's not pretty.
Yeah. I used to do that until I learned what oxidation and fats can do to you and how it oxidizes so quickly. It's quite scary if you look at the science behind it.
Really is.
The free radicals that are bombarding our bodies every day, inside and out. That's, we don't see it, but it definitely ages you a lot faster.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
So I think this is just yes for me.
Absolutely. Beneficial and healthy for both humans, dogs, and animals. Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely. That is the only oil I cook with or bake with, or that is my go-to everything oil.
Yeah, I think of the average consumer who, you're in the supermarket, you're walking down the baking and oil, and you have the choice of corn oil, canola oil, and
vegetable oil, whatever that was.
And you might get lucky and there might be safflower and peanut oil. And those will usually come in a small thing, whereas you can get corn oil by the gallon.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And it's like, why?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I was just in the Philippines recently. I was there for 6 weeks in January. And it was amazing. I was walking around and everybody cooks with coconut oil there. If you go to the grocery, yes, you'll see canola and all these Western oils brought in, but there's tons of coconut oil. And when I walk through the city, I'm looking at people and you don't really see high obesity rates. People are very lean. Their animals are lean. They're healthy. So you look at these populations that have eaten coconut oil for centuries, India, Sri Lanka, the Philippines, and they're doing a lot better than some of the Western diets that you see there.
Well, they also have hydrogenated fats and and
well, with all the bad things here.
Yeah.
So, and oh gosh, I just thought of that. At the hospital I work at part-time, we just got a Chick-fil-A next door.
Ooh, I've never eaten there. I've never had Chick-fil-A.
I have.
It's a chicken sandwich.
Oh, okay.
An overpriced chicken sandwich.
Oh, okay.
But when I walk out to my car midday, all I can smell are French fries. And I'm thinking they are frying French fries. They are frying chicken with batter dipped and stuff. What about that oil? How often do they have to change that oil? Given the volume, the first week this place was open, it was so busy they had the police directing traffic on the road.
Oh, wow.
I mean, people sat for an hour in the drive-through lane.
Wow.
Oh, I would not sit that long for
That's
fried
for-
meat and
For Chick-fil-A, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I feel like I want
All
to.
right, but thinking of that oil and how it's heated
Mm-hmm.
and the volume they're cooking, would you have to like change that every hour or so?
They don't change it.
I think I don't
They
know.
repeat and use that same oil. I mean, I don't know when they change it, but just
I'm
imagine
sure.
using the same
Yeah,
oil
I mean,
over and over and over
and
again.
I'm thinking like French fries. My first summer job, I worked at McDonald's, so I made French fries. And you just, you have that little, I don't know, basket, I guess, and it had the handle and you plugged it in. And when you took one out, you put another one in. So it was a continuous process
Oh,
of
wow.
frying.
Wow. That's just crazy.
Wow. And I think as BJ says, I heard there's 50 man-made chemicals in a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Ooh, really?
Okay, I thought maybe I was gonna go try a Chick-fil-A because it's so near. I feel like I need to try it. Like now I'm questioning it.
If I crave fried chicken, I'll make it myself.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
make it myself. I mean, you can add
Do the
spices
bread thing and then
do
you
the
fry it in coconut oil. And I don't deep fry. I turn it around. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
as
or
it
you
gets
can
golden.
bake it
Or
too
bake.
if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want. But
My grandmother was big on and we're going way off topic here. She was big on the cornflake.
the breading,
Yeah, you crushed up cornflake cereal, and she added some stuff to it, and then she baked it. She did not fry it,
Yeah.
Oh,
and it was tasty.
yeah.
Yeah. I have an air fryer
Yeah.
in the oven. So that's how
Yeah. And if I do cook for my dogs, I definitely will use coconut oil. I will never, ever, I like to make their eggs like that because when I do their eggs, I actually lightly cook the whites in our coconut oil. The yolks are raw.
Yeah.
And I'll do it so quick until the whites just turn white, and I do it in coconut
That's
oil.
right.
Yeah, and that's really healthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Have you talked with people with Dalmatians at all that form the bladder stones? They form urate stones. Any experience with coconut oil with those kind of dogs?
not with Dalmatians, but but in the Philippines, when they have bladder stones, they drink coconut water. And it happened to my dad. And it really helps break down the bladder stones. For some reason, there's just something about the chemistry. If you go to a doctor and you've got
In the
stones,
Philippines.
bladder stones, they will tell you to drink. Granted, this was fresh coconut water,
Sure.
which you can get in the Philippines. And they would drink it and they could literally break down those stones, whether it's the enzymes that break it down and they pass it. So maybe your dog or the Dalmatian, try giving it look for a good
Source of coconut
water if they can do it themselves or refrigerated. I always tell people to go
Go in the refrigerated section.
don't do the Tetra Pak and the shelf. Go look for a
look at the
refrigerated.
ingredients too. Again, you have to look at the ingredients.
It's
But
probably pasteurized.
coconut oil will not cause the bladder stone. In
No.
fact, coconut oil is known to protect kidney and bladder health, kidney and liver health too. So I mean, it protects it. It's known to be healthy for it. It won't give it stones necessarily.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's going to cure it, but
you never know, because the stones in Dalmatians form because the Dalmatian lacks an enzyme to break down purines in the diet, which are typically found in higher amounts in organ meat. So you'll hear people say, don't feed your Dalmatians organ meat.
I see.
Interesting. Yeah.
But gosh, if that would help, that would be so easy.
Yeah, definitely coconut water. Well, doctors in the Philippines recommend it.
I'm going to research more because our ebook, our scientific studies book, we did include coconut water in there, coconut milk. So there are some studies in there, but I want to do a deep dive and look for bladder stones and coconut water.
Because boy, thinking of the number of cats these days that are getting bladder stones.
Yeah.
If you could get the cat to eat it.
It doesn't taste very strongly. So if you could
water,
mix it,
you mean?
the coconut water.
The canned food.
Yeah, if you mix it in food, I don't.
Very light.
But that is actually a very common prescription for doctors. They're not even holistic doctors, but a regular conventional doctor in the Philippines will recommend coconut water.
I actually wrote a blog about it a week or so ago. So if you go to the blog, here I go plugging in our website again.
Well,
There's coconut water and coconut milk. What does science say?
go look at that, because I did include scientific studies in that blog.
Yeah. And, I think our websites are information resources as much as they are promotional.
Right.
So no shame in saying, go to my blog.
Yeah.
My blog, which is so poorly kept up to date, is usually I get a question about 15 times and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go write a blog so I don't have to keep answering this question over and over.
Yeah, right. I do the same thing.
It's a resource.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, Janet said this puppy that her friend got is brand new. So hopefully nothing pre-existing. And yeah, if we got coconut oil or coconut water as part of the diet, could be interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, and thanks, Janet, for putting the link to the blog in.
Oh, PBS NewsHour. What's that? What's PBS NewsHour?
Oh, I don't know. What is PBS NewsHour?
I don't know. Maybe it got in there.
Oh, you know what? I bet you she started to type something else. And so when you go to take off the PBS NewsHour,
I'm like, huh?
Sometimes Facebook like auto suggests another page when I'm typing.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't catch it, you hit the space bar. Now I'm getting a spam call. I turned my phone off, but
yeah, it's okay. Is it your computer?
It's your computer, yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's just go to like blogs, and when you click blog, you'll see it. It's the last blog I wrote. Easy to find. Yeah.
Good deal.
Yep.
So, well, this has been just awesome, as always. And like I said, I so appreciate all the science and the ebook and the resources that you put out there, because coconut oil is so misunderstood.
So misunderstood. And it doesn't help that people are constantly posting things about it, that if you just do a simple Google, is lauric acid, what kind of fat is lauric acid? Well, don't believe everything you read. Well, no, I don't. You're right. Be careful. You're right. You're right. Look at the source. You're right. I take that back. Yeah. But
But reputable educational sources that tell you.
Exactly. I mean, the best thing to do is go to the chemistry databases, PubChem, ChemSpider, and American Oil Chemistry and listen to your trusted integrative veterinarians for it. Yes, not like the Facebook doctors. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and realize that sometimes somebody has another agenda in terms of promoting, and rather than promoting what's good about their product, they're just going to slam the competition.
That's true.
That's in this day and age, that'll get you sued. And the latest, there's a class action suit against Hill's Pet Food.
Oh.
Had you heard about this?
No.
For causing the DCM debacle.
Oh.
And I talked with Daniel Shuloff, the guy who filed the lawsuit and got the class action part going. And the legal documents are in the public domain. And it is the argument is so well laid out that it's incredibly believable.
Wow.
And there actually is a law that says, you can't spread lies about the competition as a means to promote your own product. And this case argues that Hills did exactly that. And he's documented that they basically doubled their year-end profits through the time frame that they did this.
That's
crazy. From about $2 billion per year to $4 billion per year.
Oh no! Wow.
So, yeah, it's a crazy world we live in.
It really is. That's crazy. Oof. I mean, I wish we had deep pockets so that we could stop everybody that's spreading, mistruths about, products out there, but especially the whole lauric acid debacle.
Yeah, exactly. But all we can do is try to put out the best information that we can.
Exactly.
And tell people and ask you guys to share it out there. And we fight the good fight, right?
Exactly. Exactly. I just want my dog to live forever.
Exactly.
Okay? Animals healthy and happy, period.
Yeah. I just when I come home and the dogs are like, "You're back."
Yeah.
Best day ever. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having us.
And I can't wait to hear when the new product is out. So be sure to call me or email me.
We'll let you know. We'll announce it on your.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
You guys heard it here. We're going to hold them to
Yep,
it.
you'll be the first.
Exactly. And we have to figure out how to get rid of 5,000 jars of product that we've rejected.
Just let us
Of
know.
substandard product. I don't know. Maybe we could just build a big tower or something. A pyramid of product.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'll think of something.
Yeah, we will, I'm sure.
Take care, everyone. Bye for now.
Thanks for having us.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.